Did you see? Have you seen the Nair video?
Nair video.
Yeah, it's a Nair instructional video. It's like how to use Nair.
Is it like a YouTube guy that did it?
Yeah,
on his asshole?
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, I haven't watched it. I think I'm good, honestly.
No, man, I'm telling you, it's if you want to know how.
He's trying to save the world with the Nair video. Another podcast, week 18. Here we are. We've got our guests here, Nick.
Hello.
First guest.
No, I think it's our third guest, but
Third guest, but at first weren't those guests supposed to be
actually,
hosts?
have we had a real guest? No, yeah, we haven't had a real guest. You were the first guest.
I was the first
and then you
guest.
became part of it.
Swiftly moved in.
Nice.
So, week 18.
Week 18.
Haven't missed a week for 18 weeks, and that is 4.5 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, it's been fun. You know, I've really enjoyed it because we've got to spend so much time talking to each other.
Yeah.
It's been good.
It's been great.
So let's introduce our guest, Mr.
I'm
Did you say your name was?
Nick.
Oh, okay.
Nick Sandella. Yeah.
Dang, I didn't get a chance to make up a funny name for Nick.
Your brain wasn't working fast enough?
Well, they was just low hanging fruit.
Yeah,
So your name is asshole. Is
Oh,
Mr.
the one
asshole?
I get all the time is Dick. So
Dick.
it's like,
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's a dick.
There's one of my really good friends that calls me Dickhead every week when I go to church. Oh, hello, Dickhead. I'm like,
Nice.
can we stop? Can we stop? Can I not be Dickhead today?
Hey,
Please.
every Sunday you got to recharge that dickhead.
Why do I
battery.
have to be Dickhead today?
So Nick, tell us about yourself. Tell our small audience about yourself.
I'm just a guy in
You
the
got
world.
Nick is a guy.
He's a
Yeah,
guy, he owns a
So
dispensary.
he, him,
yeah. Own a dispensary.
right? Is that?
Your dad.
Him, yeah,
Yeah.
correct.
Okay.
Yeah, I run it with my dad. We have a grow as well, but we grow medical marijuana for
Nice.
Dad, can we grow weed together?
people. Yeah. Honestly, never thought I would ever be doing that. I used to be a geologist. And
What?
Now,
Like Ross from Friends?
I guess I didn't know he was a geologist.
I think that's. Is that
Is
true?
he an
I have no idea.
archaeologist?
My wife would know.
I think he's an archaeologist.
Oh, whatever.
I don't know.
Ground
You'd
stuff in
find
the
oil?
ground.
Is that what?
Yeah, I worked on oil rigs. Did go look at rocks, what they're drilling through, and then I would switched into where I'd tell them where to drill.
Oh, that sounds nice.
And I mean, it's stressful. I kind of miss it because like there would be days where it was running nonstop, and then there were days where we're drilling literally a foot an hour, and I have to catch every 30 feet. So I'd have days where I'd catch 2 samples, and I'd just be playing video games the whole time.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you like drill for a certain company, or was it like oil that you guys would
So
sell to
what I
everybody?
worked for was we were like the middleman. So the oil company would hire us to go look at the rocks. Most oil companies don't have their own department. I don't know why.
I think it makes perfect sense the way that my dad explained it to me. And I don't know anything about the oil industry, but it seems like in Oklahoma, they let the startup smaller oil companies go and do the exploration. And then whenever the price of oil goes down and the small companies can't make money anymore, they just buy the rights away
yeah.
from the companies
there's
that
a lot
already did the exploration.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. What I worked for was mostly bigger, like Devon, and they would hire us out, and all the big names you've heard of. I've had to go to Texas and almost to New Mexico and stuff. So the job itself sucked, but
I got it. I got some oil.
I mean,
I found some.
Hey, can you come here and suck on some?
you're working in like whatever the weather is, like,
Yeah.
and you're in a crappy little trailer with like one section that's a lab, and then your bedroom is 5 foot by 4 foot. So,
Wow.
but it paid good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so you studied geology and you're like, I'm going to get into the oil field. Was that kind of like the plan from the start? You're like, I'm going to go to college. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. What made you want to do that
So it was weird. So
initially?
I kind of had a weird relationship with school, you could say.
Okay.
I went to college right out of high school and just messed around for a long time, and then decided I didn't decide. OSU told me that we don't want you here anymore. So
What'd you do to OSU?
Oklahoma State
I
takes
didn't do
everybody,
anything
so
to
that's
OSU.
sad.
Oh yeah. No, I just wasn't making grades. I was just
I see.
too busy partying. I was in a fraternity, and it was an escape. And I didn't focus on school. But so I worked restaurants and stuff in between then, and then I was like, hey, this sucks. I'm going to go back to school and finish my degree, which I started with computer science, and I don't have the mind for it, or focus, I guess. It's just too much. And then I was thinking about like what I wanted to do, and I went home to my mom's house, and I went into my closet, and I found my rock collection that I've had since I was like 10. And like there are all these different rocks, and I was like, well, I'll just try some geology courses, see how that goes. And ended up loving it. It was an awesome experience. And then, but the cool thing about OSU geology, there's probably 2/3 of it were people my age, which were like 26 at the time. And then the rest were bright-eyed 18-year-olds.
Okay. Right.
So it was a department of people who were like, hey, let's not do what we were doing. Let's do rocks now.
Well, that actually sounds really cool. So you had to do some self-exploration is what I'm hearing. You had to go discover what you actually loved before you were like, I'm going to get back into the education thing, right? So you went, from what I'm understanding from what you're saying is that you went to school knowing like, I actually love this thing, or I at least like it.
Yeah.
Right. And so you got into geology, and then that led you to oil exploration.
Yeah. So right out of school, a buddy graduated like the semester before me, and then he was like, hey, we're hiring. As soon as you graduate, text me and we'll get you on. So that's when I started doing what they call mud logging. It was like entry-level geology work out in the field. And then did that and kind of made it to the top tier of loggers in the company, and then finally got to do directional drilling.
So you ended up doing this thing that you probably never set out to do. Is that?
I mean, so whenever I went into geology, the first was just more of like, let's get a degree at least. And then as I progressed through schooling, it was like, okay, what are my, like, we're getting close to the end here. What are my prospects of employment? So, I mean, OSU is like, the top donations for the school are from oil and gas. And so they're like, hey, you guys come work for us.
Nice.
And so it wasn't, like, finding a job wasn't difficult. Like, with geology, it's, if you go to get your master's, that's when you're like, hey, I'm working in the office now. But also geology is very dependent on the oil price. So once oil drops below a certain threshold, nobody's out there being like, hey, let's go see if there's oil out on Joe Bob's farm.
Right.
So how long did you do that?
About 3 or 4 years.
3-4 years, and then once you started the dispensary, you stopped doing that.
So what I would do is I'd help my dad. My dad was getting everything, like we got a building, we were getting it set up. So whenever I wasn't working, I'd go help him. He'd pay me just to manual labor kind of stuff.
But so was it his idea to like start a dispensary at all?
Yeah. So what really his
So
focus,
Dad's like, hey man,
his focus was the grow, and the
Okay.
dispensary was the afterthought.
Okay.
So the grow, we have like a 14,000 square foot warehouse that we grow probably 4,000 plants in. And, but getting it set up was a monumental task. We only did half. We have like 2 warehouses side by side that are connected. We got one half set up first, and that alone was ridiculous just because it was like an old auto body paint shop. And so like having to clean it and put new like with the lights and everything, you have to get so much air conditioning and stuff and plumbing and water. To
So it's all done indoors.
Yeah, we're in an indoor facility.
Wow. Okay. So this is pretty fascinating to me. I figured I was going to talk to you and then hear that your family was like, No way, dude. Why are you? Because we're in Oklahoma. Most families are conservative here. I
Yeah.
figured you'd probably have something bucking you and starting a business like that. But instead, your dad was into it.
Oh yeah, he also, I mean, so he's part of Grows in like 5 other states too. So
Okay, so he's been investing in this industry for a long time. Okay, cool.
What are some of the craziest dispensary dispensary stories since owning it or running it?
I mean, really, it's like kind of being like a bartender.
Yeah.
It's the people come in. Most people are like, "Hey, I'll take that." Gone. Then you got some guy who's like, "Yeah, I'm facing. I got court tomorrow to see if I go back to prison." And you're just like, "Oh, cool. Well, I hope you come back because you come regularly. So please don't go to prison."
Oh, you're about to go to prison? You probably want the blueberry sunrise.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's weird. Like, they come in and they just probably 5% of the people are just like telling their whole life story. I mean, that's with anything, but that's not my style of interacting with people. It's
Right.
like, well, my mom used to drink, and it's like, no, I don't.
You're like,
Cool. So did you want
Yes.
the fart dingle?
The fart tinkle. That's
My mom used to love fart. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was growing up, my mom was just sparking J's at fart dingle like all the time, and it's just like, I think that's the weed for me.
Oh no. Well, we've got the platypus foot over there.
Oh yeah, I've never tried platypus foot. Can I smell that?
You gone through lots of glass owning that store.
Oh yeah, we've been broken into, I think, 6 times now. It's just.
Hey man, I gotta get some weed, man. I don't have any money,
It's always
man.
at like 2 a.m. whenever we're playing video games, and then like I get the alarm call. I'm like, great,
Great, another
I gotta
window.
go up there.
Yeah.
I've got it perfected now. If they break the door, that is.
Yeah.
I've got a piece of plywood and the bolts and everything ready to go.
Yeah.
The last one, they smashed the big window, so I was just like, what the hell do I do? So that one I just put plastic over it because everything's put away at night,
Yeah.
and it's like in a safe room, like you can't get into it. So I was just like, look, they're either going to try to break another window or they just poke the plastic. I don't care at this point. Just don't break any more windows, please.
That's how I felt about my car windows getting broken. I was like, listen, you can just have what's in the car, but you break the window, it cost me $150 plus labor. So
Yeah.
I got to the point where I actually just left my car unlocked all the time.
Your car kept getting broken into?
Yeah, because I lived close to a bad place.
When was this? This isn't your house now.
No, not my house.
Okay.
No, but it was somewhere else. It was on next to mental health facility.
And when they get out, they're like, let's go to Donnie's house and break another one of those windows.
Let's walk through this neighborhood and break car windows and
I got
steal
a good
stuff.
source that says that car right there needs broken
It
into.
looks like a nice smashable window. It's like it happened enough times that I, eventually just left the car unlocked because I'm like, hey, you know what? If you want 75 cents in pennies left in the jar and like
Go for it.
My
you want some
question is,
Advil from
what
the-
was in the car that I got broken? Like nothing, or is it just?
yeah, well, just certain people,
gotcha.
desperate to solve whatever problem they had.
I gotcha,
and
yeah.
willing to break car windows to get in and steal. I mean, it's fine.
Was it anybody else near you or just you?
Oh no, it was like the whole street.
I
You know
gotcha.
what I mean? Like it's just
I
like
see.
a spot. Well, I got questions for you though. So there's this big transition in your life that we hadn't even touched on, and that's that at some point you were working for someone else.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you decided to shift into this entirely different industry. And what was the big catalyst for that? You talked like maybe you didn't like your job much, or what convinced you to change?
Main catalyst was me and my wife, we were having our first kid, and being gone a month at a time is not great with having.
Oh,
a
that's right.
newborn.
You did a lot of
see.
traveling when
Yeah.
you were doing that.
Yeah, I would be gone like sometimes a month or 2.
Wow.
Yeah, and
Celibate month.
yeah. I mean, I would make trips back home for the weekend, but still, it was like, ugh. Not like
The conjugal drive.
Yeah. Serena came out once, so I was working Christmas one time. My wife's name is Serena. She came out Christmas because I was out there working, and I was just like, this sucks. And then sent me a Snapchat, and she's, instead of going down the road to the rig, she's in the middle of a cow pasture, and she's like, "There's the rig." And you can see it in the background. And all of a sudden, like 5 cows walk in front of her, and she goes, "Oh, oh no!"
Wasn't expecting to see the cows here.
But yeah, so I was gonna have a kid.
Yeah.
And our daughter. And then whenever I went, so I transitioned from mud logging, which is on rig site, to directional drilling. That can be remote, and we have a remote office where we're at. And but the oil market had a big downturn, and so they shut the whole directional drilling section down in Tulsa. It was either that or moved to like Houston or something. I was like,
I don't like Houston.
yeah, I don't either.
And especially if you're going to move away
The
from
Astros
Oklahoma.
suck really bad.
If you move away from Oklahoma, you don't want to go to a place that's hotter
Yeah.
than Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's weird because Oklahoma's uncomfortable, but Austin, I'm sorry, not Austin, Houston? You swim
Oh,
through
yeah.
the air
Yeah,
in the summertime.
it's not good.
It's like wet hot. It's weird.
Walking through soup.
Yeah.
So
And
your
Galveston is disgusting. I mean, I love the ocean, but
so
we've
your
ruined
wife met you at a rig one Christmas. Was that the end of the story? I wanna make sure we
Yeah,
didn't
I
cut you.
mean, the funny part about it was that she got into someone's field. And she was in a hybrid Kia sedan.
Oh wow! Off-roading, off-roading in my hybrid Kia sedan.
Yeah.
The Elantra is doing the thing.
Yeah. I was just like, what the hell are you doing?
So, what did it feel like transitioning from that work into? Sorry, you an owner?
Yeah.
You own, so like that seems like a kind of a risk to take with
It
a
definitely
new kid.
is. Like,
yeah, what'd that feel like?
I mean, it's interesting for sure. I definitely miss geology. I think I probably at some point will go back to it because,
Because you like rocks.
well, honestly, I think it boils down to I geology rocks.
He plays Warcraft too.
Wow.
Nerd is
Yeah,
perfectly
You
accurate.
know what?
For Nick, but I'm also.
I
a nerd,
thought
so
we were nerds. We finally found a dweeb.
There we go.
we're probably equally nerds.
No, it's different. I like being a busy worker bee and trying to manage stoners is like herding cats.
Yeah.
Oh, I would hate that.
I was telling Donnie
I
last
would hate
week,
that like so much.
whenever it got legalized in Oklahoma, I didn't believe it was because everybody that cared about it was going to be too high to go vote.
Right.
Somehow they pulled it off.
Yeah.
They pulled it
I mean, that's what happened with the rec vote. Like,
yeah.
That'd be so funny if there was like potheads against legalization because they're like, man, it's going to put my dealer out of work.
No, there are some arguments to be made about medical versus recreational. Like medical, we have kind of more control over the market. But honestly, Oklahoma, the way they did it, it's like it's slowly getting better, but the Wild West of weed, like there was farms everywhere.
Yeah.
And like one thing they've been cracking down on is like, so they'd get somebody who has land. They're like, hey, you can be the owner. We'll pay you X amount a month or year to operate out here. And that's the deal. But then the state would come in and be like, hey, why is there 30,000 untagged plants here? And the owner is now on the line and going to jail.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa, how many people who just had land are
I'm
in
sure
jail
a lot in
over
the
it?
beginning. I mean, so whenever they first, so there's a,
If the laws change, but you get convicted for guy having weed on your land,
so, okay, so
did they let those guys go?
I kind of glossed over it. So they implemented this system called metric,
Okay.
which tracks, like, in the beginning, it was just like, hey, we're going to trust what you guys tell us. You have this many plants? Sounds good. But now,
You mean these 6 plants?
Yeah,
And it's
yeah,
like a 600, like
yeah, exactly.
six rows of 100
It was crazy for like the first 2 years. Like literally, you just go online. I would do it legitimately
Yeah.
because I would.
Did you hear that, Oklahoma? We know you watch.
You hear that, Governor Stitt? He was legit. He counted his plants.
Yeah, no, it was honestly annoying having to be like, guys, I need these plant counts
Yeah.
by today. Like, get them to me so I could type in 1,000 plants in this room, whatever. So now
Is weed okay? That's funny. Is weed like a weed where like
Yes.
if you're not careful, like whoa,
It'll
Yes.
spread everywhere.
Yes.
we have new weeds.
Wow.
These weeds keep making weed babies.
I've been to a grow, so it's like some grows are state of the art, like going to a Budweiser facility. Some are like, hey, we've got a house that we've turned into a grow. And then there's also 30 acres behind us that we're growing outside. So, but whenever they cut plants that are seeded, like that's not what you want in the final product, but they would just toss them. And then their big pile of tossed plants is now growing wheat.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're like
Yeah.
our compost pile is now just some more useful.
Yeah.
Product.
Yeah.
But this, like, right, okay, so what I was saying is they switched to the system called metric,
Right.
which is like you literally have a RFID chip on each plant.
Oh wow.
And
that
so-
sounds asinine.
Well, I mean, the inspectors come in, they have like a wand, and they're like, okay, there's this many plants in here.
How often do they come?
So,
I would hope
Since-
to think every time.
since I've been growing, I get it. It took me a second. I get it.
Like, don't be rude.
Like out of his penis
Inspector.
cutting.
Inspector. Well, the inspector.
Inspector, all of my plants have
taking
tags.
care of him this time.
I love to
Yeah,
see
every
that.
plant has a tag in here. Woo.
Your plants are good.
God, you guys are running this operation.
Anybody got a cigarette? You got a real clean operation in here.
Oh my god. Anyways,
No, so we've been running almost 4 years now, and we've literally only had the first initial inspection to see if we were open.
oh wow,
Wow.
that's crazy.
Hey, you guys growing weed in here? Okay, kid.
Yeah.
Thumbs up.
But also, Tulsa's a little different than like the Boondocks. Like Tulsa kind of, it's a rigorous process to get through, like the inspections and everything. So they're kind of more leaning on like this bigger cities to be like, if you have an indoor facility, to be like, oh, okay, they did this much. But once they finish working their way towards the cities, I promise you there's going to be more inspections. Like in Missouri, my dad's part of a grow there, and they're required to have their surveillance. They have to have cameras in every single room. And then that system has to be connected to the state. Like one time my dad went up to visit just to see what's going on. And he was walking around, and the state called them and was like, hey, there's somebody walking around without a badge.
Wow.
And then an hour later, there was inspectors there.
Wow. That's crazy.
I would really not like the state being involved in my business.
It is weird.
Yeah.
So it's scary because
Yeah,
it's like,
Yeah.
It's a little terrifying.
it's not like I'm trying to be like, hey, I'm going to hush 30 pounds out to
Right.
Texas. No, I'm just trying to make sure that all my plants are the way they're supposed to be, because
Right.
the laws change every 2 months.
my God,
seems
yeah.
like.
You just accidentally, unknowingly do something,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden you're,
Oh, here's a $25,000 fine.
yeah.
So, do you think that the heavy regulation on your industry is helpful to society, or do you think that it's actually hurtful to not only your business but to just the whole scheme of everything? What
My
do you
personal take is Oklahoma issued way too many licenses at the beginning.
think? Yeah,
And,
and you
And,
get a
and
license.
the
and you get one,
dispensaries,
and you get
that's what they need to open up, right?
yeah,
Or-
so
and the grow
even
places.
like when it comes to, like, if you want to do research, you have to get a license.
It does seem like they did a lot, because there's literally a dispensary, like two
Like-
on every corner
Oh,
almost.
so the last figures from when they started Metric, like I think 4,000 grows shut down
Wow. Yeah.
because they were like, we don't want to deal with Metric.
Mm-hmm.
And there was probably like 1,000 dispensaries that shut down just because Metric was like, oh,
Great.
yeah.
But do you like that or hate that?
I like it because less competition,
Right.
but there's also now the constant me laying in bed going, okay, is our inventory right? Because if it's not, oh, Here's a giant bill for...
Yeah.
So they have fines for that
Oh,
sort of
yeah.
thing. They're not just going to shut you down. They're going to...
I mean, basically the fines are, if you can pay them, pay them. If you can't, you're shut down.
Right. I see.
I see. Well, I want to move on to the next one before we run out of time. I have to keep this at an hour and 20 minutes. Otherwise, it's way too much work for me.
I gotcha.
So, you mentioned that your mom had been on Oprah before.
Oh, yeah. So when I was a kid, I was probably like 5.
Yeah.
We fly out to Chicago one day. I'm just like, what's going on? And I'm trying to remember why they were on Oprah. It was, well, they were on Oprah because my dad was a couch potato. Yeah.
So wait, how does that get set up?
Wait, your dad is
like,
is
your
a
mom...
couch potato, and then all of a sudden he's like weed master.
Well, my dad is a
Wait,
hustler.
that kind
Like,
of
he hustles constantly.
It sounds like it. I mean, you got into the dispensary business, and it seems like you guys are doing pretty good. But how does that happen? Is there like an Oprah application? It's like, what are you applying to be on Oprah for? She's like, my husband's a couch potato.
I honestly think my mom missed her calling as like a writer. She can, her track record for writing into TV shows and getting accepted to being like, hey, look at us, is
2 for 2.
2 for 2 right now. Yeah.
So what did the episode? So you got on. What did that episode look like?
Honestly, I don't remember. I was
don't remember
super
that
young.
one?
I just
Yeah.
remember, the only thing I remember is my dad in a goofy hat laying on the couch.
Whenever he went on to Oprah, I bet they were like, all right,
Yeah.
really lean into this role.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And the only thing I remember about is being in the daycare part of the studio and crying. That's literally all
So
I
Oprah
I
didn't-
feel like that would be so embarrassing. What did it feel like to be a kid on Oprah?
I wasn't, so it was just my parents on that one.
Okay.
So Oprah didn't walk in and go, you get a sucker, and you get a sucker.
No, unfortunately.
All the toddlers get a sucker.
Unfortunately, no. It's just all the PAs and people being like, what do we do? This kid won't stop crying.
You're
Well-
like, you've taken me away from my parents. Like, what do you expect?
Send me back to my couch potato dad
Yeah. I want to lay on the couch.
and watch TV,
Yeah.
which is a segue
So what
into
did you
this-
think about your dad growing up if he was such a couch potato?
He really wasn't.
Yeah.
So growing up, he had his own business. He did. He had several mobile home dealerships.
Oh.
And I mean, when he came home,
Yeah.
he just relaxed. That's what he was doing. But my mom, she has the flourish for words and would, upsell my dad just trying to relax after work one day. So
Yeah. So do you feel like your parents' involvement on TV in that way was actually kind of like a bit of a charlatanism, like a not really a thing? We were just trying to get on
Kinda,
TV
I
and have
mean,
fun with it, or was it?
So the Oprah thing, I was too young. But like going forward on the other one, I don't know. I mean, I was a nerdy kid and I would spend all night playing video games. So
Yeah.
my mom I would have to avoid, we had a certain computer chair that if you turned it a certain degree, it would pop loudly.
Yeah.
and if your mom heard that
Oh,
sound,
yeah.
she'd be like, what's going on in
Yeah.
there?
No, I would literally be on like,
Here, you being a nerd.
Are you being a nerd in there?
You nerd, bro.
stop
Don't make me
nerding
come in
out.
there and shove you in the house locker.
That's it. We're going on Oprah. What's your problem? My son's a nerd.
He's always in the chair at night. It pops and it wakes me up. Then I'd go beat his ass.
No, it got to the point where literally I'd be on like Skype with my friends and they would hear the pop and they'd be like, oh shit. 'Cause then
It's like
they would-
the only solution. Like you could have just got another chair.
it was the computer or the family computer. So
I mean, I don't think he can get another chair as a
yeah,
kid.
I was a
No,
child.
you can't just go to the other room and be like, I'm just gonna get this.
You think I would have thought of that, but no, I just
Man.
was like, don't turn this
So
way.
now I think you're a dumb nerd.
I probably would have thought of that either. I just would have been like,
I was playing the original Call of Duty and I'd get excited and
Yeah.
pop goes the weasel.
Oh, wow, I love that game. I didn't have Call of Duty. I had Medal of Honor Allied Assault.
Oh, dude, that was a great one.
Yeah, wow, what a game!
Yeah.
It was like the Saving Private Ryan.
Yes, the
reenactment.
Normandy
Yeah,
landing.
oh, the first game that had it. Oh, I loved it.
That was so good.
it was really good.
I would watch the trailer for that game before it came out and just get so excited.
Oh, I remember that. Those were the days. I feel like that's better. That game was better than
Call of Duty?
Well, I just mean like any, like, I don't know, for some, I have the nostalgia tied to it.
Yeah.
I'm like, this Call of Duty sucks.
You know
I just
what?
want to play Allied Assault.
Right,
You know?
yeah.
You know what game that I have a lot of nostalgia with that I can't find anywhere that me and you used to play all the time?
Yeah.
That Flight Simulator.
Oh my God, World War II fighters.
Yep.
Oh.
Yes, we played loads of flight
And listen,
sims.
I've tried other flight simulators.
None of them are as fun.
Nothing compares to that game. That game
was awesome.
It was so good. It actually felt like
Yeah.
you were like pieces of the plane would fall off.
Yeah.
And
I
it
feel
was-
like probably now they're more realistic, so you're like, why am I stalling? What's going
Yeah,
on?
this sucks. I hate this.
Why
this
can't I
is
just
awful.
zip around?
This didn't used to happen.
I just want to shoot Nazis in VF-109s. That's all I'm here for.
There it is again.
Shoot
Nazi
Nazis?
word.
He gets upset that I always
Drop a
bring up
Nazi
Hitler
bomb?
about
Oh,
every
yeah.
podcast. I'm like,
We
so what do you
can't
think
get
Hitler
through-
would think about?
We
Do you think
can't
Hitler
get
would
through
have
an
a dispensary?
episode
Do you think?
without Donnie saying Nazi at least once.
Hey,
I love making fun of
sure.
Nazis.
Anyways, you went on to Oprah, and then that led to your next experience.
Oh yeah, when I was just starting high school, my mom wrote into Dr. Phil, and they called us, and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna put you on the show." So the first step of that was,
And how old were you?
so it was like 9th grade. What?
Ninth grade.
Ninth
so like,
grade, so that's like 14,
Something like-
maybe?
yeah.
I think.
Yeah, maybe 15.
I could be
maybe.
wrong.
Ninth grade is, well, 8th grade would be 13. So
Okay, so
around
like 14, sure.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter that much.
And so their first thing was to send out a camera crew to our house, and they literally unplugged all of our TVs, and they would just film us like literally until like we went to bed, interacting with each other without TVs. So
Whoa. Now this was kind of a test to be on the show? Or
no,
was it?
we were already on it.
Oh,
They
you
were
were
just
already-
like
you're in.
getting footage of
Yeah.
us. Like the premise was, we put this family and we take their TVs away, and
Because they got on the show. I don't know if I can't remember if he said
The
this
pre- was
to you,
the
Donnie.
premise-
But they got on to Dr. Phil
oh yeah,
because their family would watch too much TV.
Yeah.
That was the premise.
Oh.
So now they're going to their house
Every family watched too much TV.
Right.
and
back
plugging
then.
their TVs and seeing
Yeah.
how it goes.
yeah. So yeah, they would just like film us, and there was a bunch of great shots of like me and my dad just messing with my sister, just.
Yeah.
But yeah, then they flew us out to L.A.
Yeah.
and we were on the Dr. Phil show. And
He's like, how's that working for you? And you're like,
no, literally, he was
Yeah.
like, "What's it like without TV?" And I was like, literally, my only line on the show is, "It sucks."
See, this kid has a problem.
you see, kids these days just saying it sucks like whenever they want.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
There was one moment where my dad was like, "I'm going to watch the OU game," and he's wearing an OU shirt, so he's pointing at it. And Dr. Phil was like, "I totally agree with that."
There's nothing wrong
Yeah.
with a little college football.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're 14, you're on TV for being bad. Like, what does that feel like?
It was cool. I mean, it was a cool
You're
experience.
kind of like, yeah, hell yeah,
Yeah.
cool. I watched too much TV and look what it got me on TV.
Yeah.
Catch me outside, bitch.
That is kind of funny. It's like the idea is if you watch too much TV, what are you going to do with your life? Well, I'm going to go on Dr. Phil.
Yeah, right?
This
Yeah.
actually just positively reinforced all the bad behavior in my
Look
life.
what yeah. Come on my TV show to talk about your TV.
Yeah.
No, it was kind of like a double-edged sword because we were young kids, so they kept us the first half. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't until later, the first half, I discovered what the first half was about, which was like my parents' sex life and stuff.
Oh,
Oh my God.
So
there was a sequel to this.
yeah.
Like, stop trying to make me a brother, please.
Yeah. And then like we were like, yeah, we were on Dr. Phil, and then like you watch and you're like, oh God,
Oh my
God.
I can. Oh my God! Seriously, wow! It had to
like,
have been traumatic for you.
This
Yeah.
thing's really helped.
Yeah, we're gonna watch the TV show about us watching too much TV. So why don't your parents pork?
yeah.
Oh.
When's the last time you pet or beavered, Greg?
Oh my God!
Yeah.
So what was that like for
So
you?
I mean, it was definitely because like I remember
Dr. Phil's like,
distinctly.
have you tried eating ass? Oh, Dr. Phil.
I remember distinctly where I was in drama in high school, and she's like, I taped it. We're going to watch it.
No.
Yeah. And I was just like, oh my God. Please, God, no. And like it started with the like relationship stuff. She's like, we're going to fast forward.
Yeah. Oh, man, that sucks.
Sounds like a
That'd
nice
be the
friend.
funniest part of that story.
I mean, as a 14-year-old kid, I'm dying inside.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
As we
looking
all
at
would.
it now, it's hilarious.
Donnie, can you imagine your parents going on to Dr. Phil talking about their sex life problems?
You mean like, I don't know. I have no idea. I can imagine it, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
It sounds awful.
It does sound quite terrible.
Like, oh my God, dude. I had my relationship with my dad about anything about that. He was like,
Oh, yeah.
like anytime I would talk to him, he'd be like, what
It was
you talking
like-
about, son?
It was like Dr. Phil was setting you up for a M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Oh, yeah.
Here's the twist. We're talking about your parents having
Yeah.
sex.
No, like my point of view going into it was like we were in the green room for a little bit, like eating snacks and stuff, and they brought us out.
Yeah.
And we're like, this is so cool. And then finally seeing the episode, it was just like,
This is so uncool.
Oh, I'm going to go back to watching
Yeah.
TV again.
Mom, never again.
Never again.
They
Stop signing us up for this.
They did contact us to do like a where they're at now kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
And we all said no.
When
Yeah,
was
yeah.
that?
Nah, thanks.
It's probably like 4 or 5 years afterwards.
5 years ago. Where are they at now? We're still watching TV.
Yeah. Parents are divorced.
Oh, okay. So okay. That's a huge part of your life. What time? Oh,
So
how
that
old were
was
you when
right
that
when I
happened?
went to college. So that was also one of the why I
So you're 19 or 20?
didn't really try in school.
Yeah. So okay. So that affected you pretty negatively. What do you think about that? Like, do you wish that it was different?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I wish,
No.
but I mean,
How do you think you're going to? Well, how would if you were in your parents' shoes? How would you try to change things?
I don't know. I mean, without getting into too much,
Now that you're a dad, and
Yeah,
you know
I
you've got all
mean-
this going on.
just trying to think of. So, I will do whatever I can to avoid a divorce.
Yeah.
Like
How so?
whatever it takes for my wife to be happy,
Yeah.
to make sure my kids are doing well. Like, I'm very receptive to whatever my wife says that's bothering her. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, well, I will work on that.
Mm-hmm.
Just give me some time to.
I've heard. I've never been married, so I don't know. But I've heard my friends who've been divorced. They tend to be like, whatever you do, don't.
Yeah. No, I mean,
It's worth it to work it out.
Yeah, that's what I've seen too. I mean, but for me, it was just like a bad time.
Yeah, and even
I mean,
as
there's never a good time for
Right.
it, but like, I'm going out into the world on my own. I was like,
yeah. Well, you're that age, so do you think your parents were kind of planning on this the whole time, and that you were like, well, now I'm 18, I'm out.
no.
They were
it
like,
was
oh, now we can finally.
It was
split
something
this
else
up.
that sparked everything.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I asked that because that is most of us now.
Yeah.
Most of us have experienced that. I haven't. I'm lucky, and neither has Jared. He's lucky, but most of us out here, our parents are not together, and everyone I talk to about it is like, fix it, don't split
Yeah.
it. So
No, I mean,
Yeah.
I've definitely had, once I got over everything and like started focusing, it's definitely, I like wouldn't change anything. I've had some great times, and I got a great stepdad. My dad's single again, but that's another story. But you know,
he's
it's,
watching too much TV
Yeah.
and hustling too much.
it's good. I don't know. I just know that for my kids, I will do whatever it takes not to.
Yeah, that's
like
how
that.
I feel too. What do you think is your most reoccurring argument between you and Serena?
That's tough.
Because I mean, me and Lauren, we have ours.
I mean, most of ours are, we've kind of like, I mean, probably me, I'm not the most tidy person.
No, I'm not either.
Oh, I see.
So like leaving my shoes wherever I just kick them off is kind of a reoccurring.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, there's nothing really major that we argue about. other than like, you know.
Pick up your shoes, Nick.
Right.
Come on.
No, honestly, me and Serena are a really good place, and it's kind of, our communication is much better than whenever we were.
Yeah.
We've been together 16 years, so.
Wow.
You've been together 16 years and married what, like
6.
6?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, it feels longer than that.
So,
Because me and Lauren are 10, and I thought like we just got married when you guys got married. Wow.
is your
crazy.
experience of marriage, being that you've been with somebody for 16 years, like, I think I've been told that the absolute limit to like the feeling of like what we call in love or like crush, you know what I mean? That can only last like chemically tops like 18 to 24 months, like 2 years at the most. Then that kind of fades and it is replaced with something else.
Yeah, I mean, it's more of like comfort and understanding of one another. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, you've got your honeymoon phase that you go through, and
Right.
you learn about each other. And I think really what separates it is like growing together.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like being like, hey, this is what we want.
Mm-hmm.
Let's make sure that that happens. And then, I mean, it's never just like, oh, we got the perfect job. We
Right.
got our perfect house. It's there's a lot of bumps in there, and you figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
And then it makes you stronger in the end, as long as you can keep the communication
Yeah.
up. Because
Yeah.
once you start avoiding or just being like, oh, whatever, yeah, that's whenever it starts going down
If
quick.
you don't communicate, you start to dislike each other. And I don't really think. Yeah, there's a honeymoon phase, but I don't think attraction in a like successful marriage goes away.
Yeah.
Because for a lot of people, you don't get attracted to a person. Like it's not often love at first sight. It's often like you meet a person, you love the person that they are, and then all of a sudden they are really hot to you or really sexy to you. And if you guys maintain a relationship to where you still like each other, the attraction doesn't fade. Yeah, we all get older,
Yeah.
and we don't look like we did when we were 20.
Yeah.
But if you still putting like Nick said, stay with your communication, and whenever somebody voices a concern, you show that you actually care and are going to work on that. It makes it to where you guys still like each other and still care about the other person liking the person that you are. And if you guys like each other, the attraction is there, because that's really the main thing that got me and Lauren. We did not. It was not like, oh my God, Lauren's so hot. And Lauren was like, oh my God, there's a ginger. I need to have that.
Yes.
It wasn't like that at all.
Me redhead.
It wasn't like that at all. In fact, her first impression of me was me forgetting a pen in a meeting that I was going to, and she was like, that guy does not have it together. That was her first impression of me. But we hung out for a long time, and we really liked who we were. And I can confidently say, if not, I still think she's hot, if not hotter at this point, because we put in the work to maintain the fact that we like each other as far as like the people that we are.
Yeah, I think I hate the idea of having what sometimes I've witnessed with my parents. And my parents, I think, have a good marriage, I think. But, you know, if you're around a couple with poor communication habits that aren't honest with each other in their entirety, not allowed to be who each other is, it is I can't imagine sexuality even coming to fruition in that environment. So it makes sense.
Yeah, no, I mean, once there's resentment and stuff, there's no, like, either you change and work on it, or
just kiss your ass goodbye.
Yeah. I mean, there isn't a day that doesn't go by that I don't miss the opportunity to go see my wife change her clothes. Like,
Hey, what you do?
yeah,
Hey,
what's going on in here?
Hey, I like it.
Yeah,
Sneaking in.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
That's great. That's funny.
And it's fun.
yeah.
Knowing that there's always just a pair of boobs just right there with you.
My favorite, my wife's reading a book. I'm like, hey, see a titty, come on.
Yes.
Like,
That's the dream.
that's so
That's the dream. I mean,
just so fine.
that sounds really great.
It is.
It's something to look forward to. So, what are some habits that you've built with your relationship that you think, oh, this is something that my parents didn't do that I think is really working?
I mean, I think it's easier to say the habits that I try to avoid personally, like what I witnessed that like they slowly drifted apart from. I mean, I don't really know specifically off the top of my head, but like it's more of like, hey, let's not do that.
Right.
And really, it's my thing is like be more receptive of whatever she's saying.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, of course, I can be a stubborn prick.
So that's what I thought about you. Yeah. This guy looks like a stubborn prick.
Yeah. No, I can be stubborn too. I am very bad at doing dishes. And my internal my habit is to be like, oh, dishes? I'm gonna go this way. but it's not good.
Yeah.
Because anytime my wife sees me doing dishes, she likes what she sees.
Dude.
Yeah. You see this?
You see what I'm doing right here now, baby?
See what I'm doing? Got any plans later?
Funny. You know what I'm after.
See you in the bed?
Me.
No.
So, like, it was funny about any relationship, and this is not necessarily romantic, but like roommates, right? So I've had a lot of roommates, I've lived with some different dudes, is that one person in every relationship, no matter what the relationship, is going to have a higher disgust sensitivity.
Sure.
And even if you are both the cleanest people in the world, one person will be just a little cleaner than the other.
Yeah.
Okay? And so what that means is that if you're not careful, the cleaner person is going to end up doing the dishes 99% of the time if this other person does not like fight to be a little cleaner. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
So like, man, I'm probably the cleaner of the two people in my house right now. Like my roommate is great, but
He's a messy.
I will most likely do all of the cleaning just because my disgust sensitivity is just a little higher.
And while you're cleaning, are you like this son of a?
No, I've had to solve it. I've had to go, this is who I am. I am cleaner than this other person. So here's what we're going to do. This person now has responsibilities that I don't like because I am going to clean the house automatically. Doesn't matter. So that person has to mow the lawn. I'm not doing that.
Nice.
Right? That's just part of the deal. Like, hey, dude, that's your responsibility. Like, you now have to own that. And if you don't, like, things are not going to be okay around here, which is just our agreement. You know what I mean? And I realized that I'm going to clean the house. That's what's going to happen. I'm going to keep it clean because that's my move, naturally. Yeah. So I don't know. That's the solve that I've made is going like, well, if I'm the clean one, then.
Yeah. I mean, that's just compromising. That's what makes relationships work.
It's a good.
So, I mean, my wife, she'll be like, she has a very high clean threshold that you're talking about, but she also doesn't like to clean.
Right.
So she'll make comments like, oh, the house is stressing me out. It's so dirty. So maybe once a week or if I'm feeling up to it, I will stay up late and I'll just clean the house. I'm not like mopping and all this. I'll just put all the clutter away.
The next day you cash that check?
Yeah. Well, yeah. And I wake up and she's like, oh my God, babe.
And I'm like,
you're the best ever.
Look right here.
Stop it.
You're so hot to me right now.
Suck it. I clean the house.
I just thought, why not?
Why not? I just did it out of the kindness of my heart.
If you know what I mean.
Well, so I was thinking later.
What are you doing this afternoon?
What are you doing tonight?
What are you doing right now?
Now the house is so clean.
Yeah. I mean, you should probably make this house a little dirty. You know what I'm saying?
I think we need to.
No.
Yeah. I probably need to do that more often. I do it every once in a while, but I need to do it more often.
What if that's what she's trying to program you to do?
I mean, probably.
Of course she is.
Yeah.
Of course she is.
She's like,
That's okay. That's perfectly okay. She can do that, and I should probably be better at it. Is really what it is.
Yeah. I mean, it's more of like, it's like, hey, I've only got like 50% energy right now.
Yeah, I know. That's really what it is for me. If I come home and I'm just tired and I see the house dirty, I'll literally walk up to Lauren multiple times, just be like, let's just leave it this way.
Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes, no, I can't do it. It's like, but you can.
My favorite is when Serena says that. Why don't we just do it tomorrow? I'm like,
yes. This is why I love
turn the TV on.
except for you hate whenever she says that.
Let's see what Dr. Phil's up to tonight.
Depends on what she's asking you to do tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, it's always
Because
like,
if you're like, hey, and then she's like, why don't we do it tomorrow? You're like,
my favorite
That happens
is,
often, though. That does.
I was thinking, and I'm just like, I could clean the garage, man. So was I.
I was thinking we could clean the garage next year. Me too. Let's wait a year.
Oh, yeah.
man, okay, so part of me thinks is that, like, my brother's this way. We grew up in an incredibly clean house. Like, because my mom was a
That's how we were too, yeah.
right? Like a freak about cleaning. So, like, when the house is chaotic, I know my brother just throws people's things away. Like, I know he has to. Like, that's the only way. But, like, I would be constantly, I know that my personality is going to want to fight the influx. Like, if I have children, like, toys that don't get played with are just going to go to the graveyard.
That's what you're going to do?
I feel like it.
You feel like
if I trip over,
we do that probably once
enough,
a year. We
yeah.
get rid of old toys.
Yeah, we
like
do
right before
Lauren,
Christmas.
Well, not we. Lauren does it. I don't do it.
Yeah.
She does that too, where she
purge.
Purge. But she asks the kids, "Do you still play with this? No. Do you want to keep it? Yeah. But when's the last time you played with it? Never. All right. You want to get rid of it? Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically that, and then she'll
My mom didn't give me the respect of
that?
do you want to keep this thing?
She would just throw it away.
My shit would just disappear.
Oh, that sounds traumatic.
Oh, yeah.
That sounds
Like, I would be
traumatic for the
like,
kid.
I'd be like, man, where's my Kevin Costner as Robin Hood action figure? You know,
I
where is
actually
that
remember that
motherfucker?
toy.
Yeah,
like, did he just get thrown away?
I have no idea where the hell he is, but that was the coolest.
It was
he
a
had
cool
like
toy.
a poncho that was like actual cloth, and then he had like arrows and like a bow, and it didn't work because he's like, you know, his arms do this,
Right.
But he's like holding
Yeah.
the bow, like
Yeah.
it looks so bad. But it was, you know.
That happened with me. I came home from college and like I had from like 4 years old till 18 Legos. Every year I get Legos.
Well, that's so expensive if they
Oh,
throw
I know.
those out. Like,
I had a
that's so
giant
expensive, yeah.
tub. And I was like, hey, Mom, I'm here for the Legos. She goes, oh, I sold them in the garage sale. I go,
Oh, I would have choked somebody
my
out. That's
God.
hundreds,
these are like
hundreds
vintage
of dollars.
pirate
Yeah.
sets that are
Oh my
like,
God.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, like that. Like people are paying big money for that stuff.
I would lose my mind. I still have same thing, a huge tub of all of my Legos I got as a kid. And
Mine is with my
I would be
nephews.
heartbroken
yeah, I
if
was
it just
very
got
upset.
sold at a garage sale. My dad actually did something like that to me. I had this perfect bike.
Yeah,
It had pegs on the back,
I remember this bike.
and it just fit me perfectly. And it still fit me with the size that I am now.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I would,
Yeah.
come back to my parents' house every once in a while after I moved out and got married and,
And
just
ride the bike around.
just ride that bike around the neighborhood. And I had a blast. One time I came back, the bike wasn't there. It's like, Dad, where's my bike? It's like, oh, I gave that away. And I almost literally cried.
Yeah,
I was like,
"That's my bike."
my bike?
My bike?
I fixed the chain on that bike.
How could you, Papa?
Fell on my face on that bike.
Papa,
Papa, why'd you do that? That was my bike. Who has it?
I had some adventures on my bike, Papa.
I have no idea if that bike's still alive to this day, but it was sad.
Some kids like pouring water on the chain.
Literally, I had
Rust, you stupid bike.
You guys want to see a flamethrower on this bike?
That's like a bad dream.
You
Literally,
know what I hate more than anything, YouTube? Bikes.
Bikes.
let me
Break
tell you.
bikes.
Let me
You're
tell you.
some dumb kid's bike.
Let me tell you a story about me and that bike. There was one night, and this was a Halloween night. I was riding the bike down my driveway in my parents' neighborhood just as fast as I can. Just going, let's see how fast I can do this. And I'd stand up on the pegs and be like, woohoo, gliding and stuff. Well, I kept doing that until one time I was pedaling really hard.
Yeah.
And the chain literally just broke and jammed. So all of a sudden I can pedal, and then all of a sudden I couldn't.
Oh, okay.
And so, like, your feet
Zing.
is doing this, and all of a sudden your feet get forced to stop, and your feet have nowhere to go.
because
There's
it
forward
jams.
momentum because it's
Yeah.
jammed,
Yeah.
and so I lose my balance,
Yeah.
and I literally fall like this,
Oh,
on your
hell
face.
yeah.
head face.
That's why you look
on
like
the
that.
concrete. I have a scar right here. You probably can't see. What'd you say?
That's why you look like that.
Oh, that's why.
I see.
That's why I got this
Yeah,
going
it's a
on.
veneer.
But I fell face first on the concrete,
Yeah.
knocked out.
I
went
just
to
thought it because
sleep.
you took after your dad, but it looks like
No.
like-
Face first on the concrete, fell asleep, and I wake up maybe, I don't know, 5 to 10 minutes later.
concussion.
Like yeah,
on.
concussion, got
Yeah.
concussion.
Yeah.
I wake up 5 to 10 minutes later, I feel my face, there's literally a rock jammed under my skin.
Oh
Nice.
my.
And so I pick up my bike and I start walking towards the house.
Yeah.
My parents answer the door, and I have school on Tuesdays and Thursdays because we went to Cornerstone.
yeah.
And as soon as they open the door, the first thing I say is it Tuesday or is it Thursday? Because in my mind, I'm thinking,
Yeah.
how long do I have to heal this shit before I have to go to school? And so I get inside, and like every 5 minutes, I just go, is it Tuesday or is it Thursday?
Your parents are just like,
Oh man.
I gotta go to
Did
the
they take
hospital.
you to the urgent care?
No,
they didn't do anything
No,
for
they
you?
didn't. No, I mean, then 5 minutes later, I see my mom picking a rock out of my face, and I think, oh,
Is it
Tuesday or is it Thursday?
Thursday.
Eventually, I was fine. I didn't need to go to urgent care. I mean,
you probably should have.
I probably should have, but I was fine, and I
Yeah.
probably would have taken the same approach. I agree with my parents' approach on that. But spent the whole night asking if it was Tuesday or if it's Thursday until eventually I just came to. But I still remembered all of it.
Yeah.
Like I remembered snippets of it. You know what I mean?
I remember getting a concussion. Sumo wrestling. Zach, one of our two fans.
Sumo wrestling. Like,
Yeah,
in a
like we
suit?
had the
but we
sumo
got-
suit.
yeah.
Except for my hair hat. You know,
Yeah.
the hair helmet.
The helmet hat?
Yeah, that thing.
You got a concussion?
Zach gets me with the kaboom, right? And then I fall back and onto the edge of the concrete. I just missed the mat, and the hair hat goes like flying. It's like the hair helmet is gone, and I hit the back of my head, boom, on the concrete.
Was I here for this? Was I?
Yeah, it was at Destiny Church.
Oh.
Yeah, you remember that?
Yes, I kind of.
And so like I'm full on knocked out. KO, one hit, finish him. Yeah.
I think I've ever
and
been
like end up
knocked
at
out.
Zach's house. I wake up, I come to at Zach's house, and Regina's like, "Wake up! Don't go to sleep. You have a concussion." I'm like,
Is it Tuesday or is it
"How many
Thursday?
fingers am I holding up?" And yeah. It was actually around that time I was 13.
Wow.
So we had
Crazy.
concussions around the same time, but you never told me about that stuff. I didn't know you fell off your bike and got a
Oh,
concussion.
you didn't know that I?
What
Yeah.
if you guys mind melded in your concussion state,
Yeah.
and now this
Oh,
is
that'd
why
be so
And now-
awesome. It was like my mind to your mind. My thought. We're both stupid fucking idiots. What are we gonna do with our lives? So we're gonna start a podcast.
Let's call it Two Idiots Doing a Podcast.
Dude, we have to stop. Our lives are gonna be so lame.
Is it
We have to
Tuesday or is it
change.
Thursday?
It's a Tuesday.
That's my story. So you never got a concussion
I
before?
don't think so. I mean, I've definitely rung my bell before, but nothing to where I was like out. That I
Bro, let's change that.
You gotta have a story.
We're gonna go doggy kick.
Your story reminded me of me and my buddy, neighborhood pals. He was like popping wheelies on his bike. Well, he didn't tighten the front bolt. Like it was open.
No way.
And so when he came down, before he came down, the tire fell off.
Oh God.
and
And he
hit the
just
metal.
hit straight spikes of where the tire connects. And he didn't let go. He just white knuckled it straight into the ground.
Oh my God.
God, I hate that story.
Was he
Bro,
okay?
Teeth? Is his teeth okay?
It was not okay.
He was not.
I had to find his teeth.
Oh my God. You had to
Shut
find his
up!
teeth.
He's like, no teeth.
my
Is
God.
bloody. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
No, they so temporarily glued his broken teeth on where he
hell yeah.
Wow.
and they were like, I went and looked for him and it was just sticking up in the road, just straight up.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So wait, were you guys taking turns on that bike?
No, we each had our. I had.
Oh, you had your own.
had a sick mongoose.
Okay.
And
Oh, mongoose, nice.
Nice. That's like a nightmare come true because I'm sure we've all had the dream where our teeth fall out.
yeah, but luckily I got
Oh,
to observe
dude.
and not
Yeah.
be part of it.
Yeah.
So have you ever had a tooth break?
I once bit on a fork.
Oh, I've chipped. I've had I was
Yeah.
drinking a bottle. and someone went tink
You
on
chipped it?
accident and
Oh,
just chipped these
God.
two.
Well,
right
yeah,
here.
James Hefner chipped my tooth.
Oh, really? He
Yeah,
called me
up in here.
last night.
Yeah. He called you last night?
Yeah, when I was already asleep. I fell asleep at 9:30 last night. So
Yeah.
you called me at 10. He called me at like 10:30.
Yeah.
I don't know what about.
Well,
but
okay.
But wait.
Teeth. Then I have a teeth story.
Yep, that's what I was gonna do. Yeah.
Yeah. So I had a tooth that had gone bad. Something was wrong with it, infected or something. And this was like, I was like 20, 22. I don't know, somewhere around that age. Nah, I was 20. And I bite into a Sonic burger. Just a burger. Like nothing crazy, right? And that tooth breaks in half.
Nice.
Really?
Okay, so then I'm like, something in my body and brain was like, Sonic will destroy your teeth. Right? And then for months, man, like
You
that
would not-
tooth cracked in half, all the way broken, pieces of my tooth, right?
Oh
Had
my
to go to the dentist and they had to replace the tooth with a crown, right? And they put like this metal tooth on top.
Yep.
And dude, I had teeth dreams. Dreams about
Oh, yeah.
my teeth.
Yeah.
Like all the time.
I think
I think that's
Yeah,
a
I mean-
reoccurring dream for
Yeah.
a lot of us. I chipped my tooth on a fork at Cracker Barrel.
oh
I would just roll.
The most aptly named place
wait,
to
you
eat,
eat a
of
roll
all
with
time.
a fork?
No, that's just where my brain went. It was probably popcorn shrimp or something.
Wait,
That's just.
I was like, hold on, no.
Oh wait.
This is absurd.
That's a problem. Don't eat rolls with a fork. That's why it happened.
Don't eat rolls with a fork.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I
great.
remember being at Cracker Barrel, eating whatever it was probably popcorn shrimp or something, biting on it, and all of a sudden, clink. I
Yo.
was like, "That's my tooth."
Yeah.
Oh God.
All I remember about Cracker Barrel was all the peg game was like,
yeah.
you're an idiot. And I'm like,
My grandpa figured out
knows.
how to beat
the
that.
peg game knows I'm a fucking idiot.
I know
I just did it over Christmas, and I was happy I got it just to one left. And I was like,
You just did it over Christmas.
Oh yeah, peg game.
Was that
You're
your
a
first
geologist though.
that's true. There's a lot of rocks and triangles.
time? Was that your first time
First time.
getting to one peg?
No, when I was a kid, we went to Cracker Barrel quite a bit.
So you had done it
I'm
before.
kind of a master.
Because so am I. My joke was going to be, oh, it took you 30 years. It took me 13. All right, Nick,
Yeah.
this is our dad joke segment.
Uh-huh.
And this is the reason why we do this is because not only do I love dad jokes, I'm not sure if Donnie even loves dad jokes.
I don't.
You don't watch the shorts and think that was pretty funny?
No, I see them as like just like we have a variety show and then
Yeah.
there's only two segments. There's us talking and then the comedian at the end is like does
Yeah.
bad dad jokes.
Yeah, and it's pretty great. So, anyways, did you bring some?
I got two.
All right, two's great. Who wants to start?
I have three. Hang on, make Nick go.
All right.
Okay.
This one is kind of directed towards you.
Interesting. Probably has
How do
something
you
to
get rid of
with
a stupid
ginger.
redhead?
Why are gingers always hungry? Because they can't have soul food.
Yeah, they can't have a thick, nice.
Because I don't have a soul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gingers, no soul.
Nice.
Checks all the boxes.
Nice.
It's true. We
glad
know when
you-
we're in heaven and Jared doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, that'd be so great.
Ow!
Oh, guys.
Jared's like, I can't even see the afterlife. I just go away.
I think I'm done with this.
Guys,
All right.
stop making fun of me not getting to go to the afterlife.
I wish I had a brown and black haired joke. You
I mean,
jerks.
most of them are.
What were we going to say?
What are you trying to say about black-haired people?
What's going on here?
I thought you said no racism in the podcast today.
Yeah. Today.
I don't know.
So speaking of Hitler,
Yeah.
How do you get a squirrel to like you?
Show me nuts.
that's pretty good.
That's actually better.
Here you go, Jeff.
How do you get a... Bud, what are you doing?
Showing the squirrel my nuts.
I'm going to restart this joke.
No, do you have to leave that in?
Okay. You act like a nut, but now my punchline isn't as good because I like your punchline better.
But he was kind of acting like a nut.
He was acting like a nut. Oh, God. All right, Donnie.
Where do pirates get their hooks?
From Neverland?
That's very logical of you, Jared. The secondhand store.
Oh. Hate
Nice.
that.
Nice. All right, go.
My wife compares me to Ryan Gosling all the time. She says, "You're nothing like Ryan Gosling."
In Drive? Which Ryan Gosling? That's my favorite Ryan
All of
Gosling.
them. Yeah.
You're nothing. Ryan Gosling.
Oh, I like this one. You're gonna love this.
Go ahead.
No. You go.
I had another ginger one if you want to hear it.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, annihilate him, please.
How do you cure a ginger? Chemotherapy.
Oh my God.
Is it because of the radiation?
Yeah, there's no hair.
Oh, there's no.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, bit of spicy
Don't you love
there.
those, Jared?
That's not. I totally stole that, but yeah.
That's what all dad jokes are.
Okay.
Stolen,
Literally.
absolutely.
Literally just stolen.
Why is it so cheap to throw a party at a haunted house?
Why?
Because the ghosts bring all the booze.
Oh.
Terrible joke. Okay.
I have a terrible joke for you.
No.
Where do boats go when they get sick?
Boats go when they get sick. Oh, something hospital, but like, or the doctor.
Oh, is that it?
The boat dock.
The boat. Freaking doctor.
Doctor. That was good.
Yeah, I feel like I'm coming up with better dad joke punchlines for your jokes than what's written on the thing. The doctor.
No, the boat dock was bad.
They both sucked.
Yeah, they both were bad.
Well, speaking of jokes that suck, here we go. Which days are the strongest?
Wednesday?
No. You give up?
Yeah.
Saturday and Sunday. The rest are weekdays.
Yeah.
Don't you feel good? Don't you feel good? See what that see?
Yeah,
what
it feels good.
It doesn't feel good. It feels like somebody poked you in the eye with words.
What did the baby corn say to its mama?
What did the baby corn say to its mama? Who's my dad, bitch?
No. Where's popcorn?
Oh, that's good. I kept thinking ear, but I don't know why.
Where is popcorn?
Where's popcorn? Mama!
Mama.
Mama!
Where's popcorn?
She's like, popcorn died in the war. He didn't go out for a pack of cigarettes and not come back. Oh, okay. All right. Whoever stole my copy of Microsoft Office, I will find you. You have my word.
I get it. Microsoft Word.
I get it.
I get it.
I'm out
It's
of
a
jokes.
play on words.
Oh, man.
Well, now that we've thoroughly bored everyone,
No, it's
I only know 25 letters of the alphabet.
because 789.
No, that's not the alphabet.
I only know 27.
I only know 25 letters of the alphabet.
What's that?
I don't know why.
I don't know why.
I get it.
Damn it. God. I was like going through them like, well, which one's a word? Which one's a word? Which one's a word? Which one's a word?
Do you have any more?
No.
Yeah, that was a sweet session of dad jokes.
You know,
But that's okay. It's probably still funny because they're all funny.
yeah, they
their
are
own
what they are, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's about it. We're approaching an hour and 20 minutes. What'd you think, Nick? How was your experience?
It's great.
Podcasting is like thinking you're important a little bit, but you're not. Because you're like, my words, are they cool words?
But we're at least interesting enough for between 30 to 40 reoccurring viewers.
Yeah.
Wow. Big time.
It's big time. And of all 3,500 of our subscribers, 30 of them,
30 of them keep coming back.
of a percent come back.
Well, you start somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And if you stay consistent, more show up.
It's true.
Did you, I mean, we had a comment from someone this week that I had no idea who it was.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know who that was either. I looked into that.
And
I was like,
it was Brianna or
yeah,
something?
but they had commented on something else of yours.
Yeah.
They
What was
came
the
in
comment?
from a short.
I posted
then-
they came in from a short.
Yeah.
I posted the podcast a day late, and the comment was, worth the wait.
Which felt good.
Hey,
Felt good.
that's some positive
That
reinforcement.
felt really good.
Yeah. So that's all we got for today. Thank you, Nick, for coming.
Thank you guys for having me. Appreciate it.
Nick,
You should do it again.
absolutely.
It was a lot
Super
of fun.
fun.
You were very interesting. So interesting that I forgot to turn the camera on.
Well, maybe next time I can be more entertaining, but whatever. I liked it.
It was great.
We should have a stick figure version of him that we
that.
just throw up when he's talking.
Yeah.
Sure, you make it.
All right,
You're not gonna.
here it goes.
Insert stick figure now.
You're just. What are you doing?
I'm drawing Nick.
Oh yeah, but that
He's
doesn't.
got one of these. He's got a little one of these.
And that was episode 18 of another podcast. We'll see you next week.